Who Put This On, Season 7, Episode 16, where we watch what's the show called again?
God.
Back in the Groove.
Back in the Groove, Season 1, Episode 1.
Ooh, boy.
And I only have one rule to make your dreams come true. I'm Chris Lorenz.
I am the best there is. I am the best to set foot on this island. This is Brian.
Fine as wine. Sexy chocolate drop. Whoa, boy. This is Noah Singer.
All right. Well, not our best intro ever, but those are references to the show we watched this week. But last week we watched a show that I had up and now it's gone. It's Run for the Money on Netflix. We had a poll on Twitter at Who Put This On, where we had a top third, middle third, bottom third options, and you guys chose top third. So you agreed with us. Very good show. I would definitely recommend watching that one on Netflix. And then Brian, what show did we watch this week?
This week we watched Back in the Groove. 3 single women in their 40s, all stuck in the grind of their everyday lives, will check out of their comfort zones and check into the Groove Hotel, a magical resort on the beautiful island of the Dominican Republic, where the goal is to rediscover their youth, live joyously, and hopefully find love with men half their age. Wow. As the saying goes, you can't fall in love with someone until you fall in love with yourself. At the Groove Hotel, these 3 women will have the opportunity to do both. Whether they find the perfect fling, friendship, true love, or something in between, this is their chance to take charge and break through the double standards older women face every day. And they're going to have a lot of fun doing it. This show is hosted by Taye Diggs, who knows a thing or two about getting in the groove. That's Back in the Groove on Hulu.
Nice.
You okay, Brian? Are you winded? Are you winded at all from
that was great. I'm riled up. Let's go.
All right. So, So we're doing this show because I was on Hulu this morning and I was like, 4-day event. Watch these women get her groove back. And if you've been listening to the show for a while, I'm a big fan of like older people dating, like 40 plus year old dating shows. I think are way more entertaining than 20-year-old dating shows. But I didn't continue reading. I didn't realize that this was based on a movie where older women got her groove back by dating a younger man. And so this show kind of has all the problems that I have with 20-year-old dating shows almost. Not quite. It's better, but it's not what I was really expecting.
I did pull out today. I was like, hey, by the way.
It's based on this movie, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, I totally thought you were joking. I did not realize this is a Love Boat situation where it's like, oh, here's this older movie. Let's just get a dating show off of this.
I didn't look into the show, but I was like, oh, this is clearly about how Stella got her groove back. Like, very obvious.
I agree with you. It should have been obvious. I definitely screwed this up.
All good.
But it's okay. We were watching the show. We're gonna watch shows. We can watch this one. It's fine.
Yeah. You didn't need to watch the movie to understand the show.
I looked up the Wikipedia page, and the synopsis for the movie is so short. It's like woman 40 meets younger man, figures out her life because of younger man. Movie end. Just like that's it. That's the whole movie.
They made up for it in the show description for this show.
Yeah, the show description is longer than the Wikipedia plot summary of the movie, for the hit movie from 1998, based on the hit book from 1996.
Oh, it's a hit book.
I don't know if I'm going to get that much sexiness from the book. Although the romance novels are pretty popular.
Yeah, I mean, you got to use your imagination more. It could be even better.
That's true. My wildest dreams could come alive through this book.
So is Taye Diggs, was he the hot younger guy in the OG movie? He's in the movie.
I'm not sure. I haven't watched it. You went to the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, come on.
The Internet Corner. Internet Corner. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he is. Come
on. Okay. So this is where this show shines over the real Love Boat, where they actually got somebody from the movie to be like, I'm somewhat major part of the show. He's the host. He was in the show for like what, 30 seconds, 45 seconds maybe.
It's a little weird. Like you get Taye Diggs, and you have him in the show for like 30 seconds. Like, come on, you have to make him a big part of it.
It's a typical host role though. Like a lot of hosts are only in the show for like 30, 45 seconds. And they always like, because they want the name on the show, but there's nothing for them to do. No. Sometimes there is, but sometimes they just let them go. Nothing would be worse than the Cleveland Hustle, where they just had LeBron on like a green screen saying some words, and that was his whole involvement in the whole show. Whereas at least this guy was on set, like in the Dominican Republic. Who knows? He could come back. You
know he's not leaving the Dominican Republic. Just like hang out there.
Yeah, he's definitely getting, vacation. Like he's like, hey, we're shooting the show. You want to come to the Dominican Republic? Be on the show? Dominican Republic? You pay me? Oh, okay.
Why not?
That's all you need to do. So he's on the show for like 0 seconds. And then there's a concierge, which kind of like, I feel like the host.
Wait. Can you say that word again?
Concierge?
There's a G.
No, it's concierge.
No, there's a G at the end.
You're saying it's concierge?
Concierge, yeah.
It's a concierge.
No, it's not.
It is. It's a French word. It's concierge.
All right.
Concierge.
I'm doubling down on my concierge here. There's a concierge, and this could be done by the host. Like these don't need to be two different people. Like the concierge is just he's just like the producer analog, where like the people come over and be like, I want to go on a date, and then the concierge comes in, and or like he came in this episode was like, hey, it's time to kick people off this show. And like that was his
Pedro.
There you go, Chris.
Concierge, yeah, I heard it. Concierge. Got it.
All right, you're down despite.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised how good looking the concierge was. Pedro. Pedro's a very good looking man.
Everyone in the show is good looking.
Yeah, that is true.
There's definitely like some tiers going on where like Pedro, the concierge, is pretty low on that list, but like in terms of like real life, he's pretty high.
Yeah.
He's just suave. He's got that cool energy.
Yeah, definitely. For sure. Good casting.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun, and he comes into play a lot later. So
a lot is a big word there. But anyway, let's talk about, so the show starts out where they introduce 3 sexy single 40-something women. So we got Steph. She's 41. She's a singer from Miami. Then we got Brooke. She's 42. She's a personal trainer from LA. And then we got Sparkle. Great name. Really threw me for a loop every time. She's 43. She was an entrepreneur from Atlanta. So she's either retired or something. Unclear.
She's starting a new chapter. She's resetting, Chris.
She's getting her groove. She's getting her groove back. Is what I can tell.
I gotta say, like the energy that they brought during the introductions was pretty awesome. Like even for like, so Steph also had like a pretty important story to tell, but still really just brought like, I'm ready. Like, let's go. And everybody's just like also supporting one another. Yeah, we're gonna get after this. Like, take over this world.
So each one of them has a sob story. So Steph had a double mastectomy, and it's like pretty clear her chest is flatter than the other two. So that was kind of her sob story. And then Brooke, we find out in the second episode that she had a miscarriage.
Yeah, but granted, we didn't experience that in the first episode.
That's true. Spoilers for anyone watching this. We only watched one. We watched 1.5 kind of while we were waiting for Noah. And then Sparkle, haven't gotten to her sob story yet, but her son is with the men because he's 22 or something.
And does she just not say anything? This is very confusing.
Unclear. So did she say so? Brief overview what happens in the show. They introduce 24 people, they like talk to them, they have a dance night, and then they kick 3 people off the show. But all 3 of them had to save the guys. Okay. So does she save her son?
I didn't notice. Like
I don't know if they didn't obviously show all of it because so it's unclear. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. I mean, I paid attention to who they were saving, but not enough to like, wait, was that her son?
Because they didn't reveal that till afterwards.
Correct.
So you'd have to go back and look.
Yeah.
And we're not that kind of podcast.
No, we're
not. Yeah. So as I briefly went over, 24 hot single men. And I mean, like, when we say hot, like, we're talking like peak of everyone has a 6-pack.
Abs for days.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone. And they're all hanging out at this pool. And all their intros are pretty great. It's like, imagine Baywatch, and there's all these like sexy intros. They're all sexy.
Yeah. Instead of like the water hair flip or water splashing, it's eating fruit.
If you're a woman,
there's 3 things.
What?
They're taking a outdoor shower. They are touching their stomach. And yes, eating lots of fruit.
Eating fruit sexily. Like somebody took like a watermelon slice, took a bite, and then just crushed the rest of it and just let the juice fall on his abs. And I just like laughed because it was just so fucking silly. Yeah. But, you know, if that's your thing for the women out there, this is your show. Because like, this is not our show.
No, but it's not about it. Like it's not
women. My show, but like
they're taking choosing partners back. It's not the men go after the women; it's women go after the men.
I mean, there's a show called The Bachelorette. What is that response?
Not in the same way.
This is not the first show where we've done a million of these shows. F-Boy Island. Like, that's the women choosing the men. Like that's not a new thing. They made it seem like it was a new thing. Like, maybe it was a new thing in 1998 when they had that movie before reality shows. Like, but ever since there's been reality shows, you know, ever since The Bachelor, there's been women versions of The Bachelor.
But it's also with older women, not just like anybody.
That's true. Mm-hmm. This might be one of the first older women version of this show. I don't know. Yeah. VH1's probably not big on the older women crowd.
I don't know if VH1 is like even. No, they're doing stuff
because weren't they the ones that did like Flavor Flav back in the day. I'm sure there was a woman,
the House
like
of
Flavor of Love kind of situation.
Yeah. Flavor of Love.
Because like, I mean, I guess there was 3 people in the show, and like we did the double shot of love, which was 2 people. So we're really just leveling up. But F-Boy Island was also 3 women. But it was 3 women not looking for F-boys, but were looking for F-boys. It was very conflicted women.
And now it's just, we're looking for F-boys. We're looking to have fun. Let's go.
I was really surprised no one banged. No one was even close to banging the show.
No.
I think you just got to chill out for a little episode and then.
I mean, we only saw like a day and a half.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, next episode has a boat, so.
We did see some implications.
I mean, I was surprised that they're even able to get kisses. Like, there's just so many guys.
Dude, 24 people. Do you know what makes my eyes glaze over fucking faster? He's trying to introduce 24 people or now 27 people or 29 people in a reality show in 60 minutes. Not even. Like, that is the most boring fucking thing ever. It's like, I'm Tay-Tay. I'm Alan. I'm from South Carolina. I'm Fizzlebub. Like, I don't give a fuck who you are. Like, show me you doing something so that I'm invested in you. Like, I don't need, like, I obviously don't need sexy intros, but I'm sure some people like them. But you can do a sexy intro while they're doing something.
Mhm.
Like,
I mean, to their credit, I think better than other shows, I felt like they didn't just try to cram the men down your throat. Like, they kind of did it in a way that felt a little bit more organic, and they just didn't do some of the guys, which was great.
Yeah, I mean, the 3 people that got kicked off, do we know any of them?
No.
You got 24 people, and you like make this big deal that like some of you aren't going to make it through the night, and they only kick off 3 people.
That's kind of ridiculous, but I guess
we watched.
They didn't even try it. They must have not even been able to get a word in, and that's where if you're not aggressive enough, go home.
No, but we watched that like Joe Millionaire show, I think it was, and they had like 20 people that kicked off like 8 of them. Like, they really needed to like cut this field in half to have like a real show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, would you agree with me?
But what if it's a hit and you want to draw out that show? That's where you're banking a lot on the initial 3.
Yeah, I thought the Joe Millionaire cut was the exception, and this is more common.
Yeah, the Joe Millionaire. It felt good to just be like, look, you're not even trying, just get out.
Mm-hmm.
This felt like that. Yeah, like you had a really good chance. And
I mean, Joe Millionaire was way back in the day, so maybe they didn't have great casting to like pick the right people. I don't know, but like, so this is a 4-night event, so it's very different. It's not a Netflix drop them all at once. It's not a once a week. It's not twice a week. It's 4 nights and it's over. But it's like 2 episodes pop tonight, and I think it's 8 episodes total. So that was one of the reasons we're like, if we're going to do the show, we got to do it tonight, so people can get into it while the Hulu's pumping it. You know?
Yeah, like yesterday the other episodes dropped. Tonight the next 2. Tomorrow, yeah, this is moving. Wow,
interesting. Yeah, like I was surprised when I opened up the Hulu app. This took up 75%.
Yeah,
the opening screen in the Hulu app. I was like, Jay.
I'm surprised they didn't like drop this at like a week where people are at home, like Thanksgiving week or like closer to Christmas. Like, it's a weird week to like be like, hey, watch this. Like, all the other shows are still going. You know, it's like kind of like a.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like.
I thought this seems
This seems like a good lull show, you know, between when everyone's on reruns, but or this whole marketing idea where you have 4 nights and you dump them all, you know.
Yeah.
But it also just kind of feels like a dump at this point. Like, they had the show in the can and they're like, man, how do we get the show out there? Because like week to week, this was not going to work. And Hulu doesn't tend to do like binges.
No, but I also think that this is kind of the right point to just like get your attention and like try to hook you. Like, I think the dumping thing, like slowly over like a couple days, is going to get people interested if they catch it.
Yeah, but I think that you want to dump when like your normal shows aren't on. Like, if your normal show is CSI on Monday at 8 p.m., like you're not loading up Hulu to see what's on Hulu. Right. Like that's what I'm saying is like, I mean, maybe that's less of a factor, but you're definitely trying to gear older here. So like, I don't know. I'm not Hulu executives. I'm just saying that this would have made more sense when people are all on reruns. That's all.
Yeah, I was thinking that like just because right now a lot of shows are just kind of ending and it's in between, maybe it would be a good time.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Like, are any like kind of like fall shows still running?
Yeah. Like the Goldbergs had new episodes.
Goldberg does not count. That just
Rick and Morty. There's the Good Doctor. Like, all the shows that I'm aware of all had new episodes this week. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Brian. You're like, well, oh, they obviously did this because there's no fall pre. I'm like, the fall shows are still on.
Goldberg's, no. Rick
I'm
and Morty,
just telling you, you can't just dismiss shows.
Like-
People are watching those shows.
There are definitely still a lot of shows that have ended.
Okay.
Like, it's not everything, but it's still like, yeah, there's not as much content.
All right, Brian. What shows are those? If I can name shows that are still going, you now need to name shows that have ended.
Taskmaster. There you go. There's also no like Disney ones. There's also like all the House of Dragon and Lord of the Rings. are
Yeah,
also
those
done.
aren't
Those-
fall.
They're not.
You're competing with like the CSI and CIS, Bachelor. Like you're talking fall, talking primetime network shows. Like Chicago, Fire, Hospital, Morgue, whatever the fuck they've got on in Chicago.
Yeah, like the basic sitcom, like drama, like the big network shows. Like they usually end around like this week or so because they want to get like a Christmas episode in. Then they're stopping.
Yeah, it's close to I think when you would want to do this, but anyway, I think we talked about this to death.
Yeah.
And if it's not clear, I don't have a whole lot to say about this show. They get 24 hot guys. They're like, I'm not writing down 24 names. I'm not doing it. And so they meet up. The women come out and they're looking real hot. Like, I'm not gonna lie. They're all dressed in different, like bright, like color dresses. There's like a bright yellow, bright pink, bright blue dress. And I think they all like whoever decided what they were gonna wear, I think did a great job, like of contrasting the three of them, because I think that looked
You don't think they decided themselves?
I mean, they might have, but whoever was like, hey, I'm going to wear this bright yellow, like somebody had to pick that. They're not just like picking.
I think they probably gave them, like, I think prior to the show, they probably like, hey, what color do you think you look best in? And then they probably present them with like a rack of clothing in their size. Then like they can choose out of like a set for like the night or all the nights.
I mean, I don't know how it works. Cause like The Bachelor, don't you have
That's
to
my
wear your
bad.
own clothing or something?
Yeah.
So like,
Maybe it's their own clothes. Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know. It could have been just like, hey, I need you to come up with like 10 like
Mm.
pink dresses or something. I don't know.
I
I thought
wouldn't
they
be
were
shocked.
all very similar styled and they looked really well next to each other. And
Mm.
whoever's decision that was, I think that
I mean,
worked out
the
pretty well.
guys definitely brought their own clothes. Like they're not outfitting 24 guys. No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't even need to bring clothes. They just bring like a couple shirts and they're good.
They just don't wear clothes. So yeah. So, the girls come out, or the women come out, it's probably a better way to say that. And then the men kind of like flock to the women to try to get some time in with them one-on-one and dance with them, like woo them, and that's like 80% of this fucking show. And then the concierge comes back and says, time to kick some people out of the show. Then they kick 3 people out of the show, and that's the end of episode 1.
I gotta admit, the concierge walking in was one of the greatest moments because everybody in the house was like, "Who is this dude? Like, what is he doing?" And the concierge
Dude,
just walk him.
no old men allowed in the show.
Yeah, it's like I thought you said it was hot young guys, not old,
Yeah,
not hot old
no,
men.
no, old men.
Like,
Yeah.
I'd probably be confused too, but
Oh yeah,
at the same time, it's like, okay, this dude looks like he knows he's supposed to be here. What's going on?
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
after it's like, oh yeah, okay, it's time. Like we're done here.
Chris, I gotta say, I feel like you're throwing some of the like interesting scenes under the bus. Like we had some kissing going on, we had people carrying people. Like
No, you feel free to go in more minutia. I gonna be honest. I was playing a game on my phone and I was like listening and I was like half watching. And I know that's not a great way to like for me for this podcast, but I feel like that's the way that you can enjoy the show.
For anyone listening, I know I'm not really a good entertainer, but the
I
fact
feel
that
like
it
I've been very entertaining this podcast, but I'm not going to be going over minutia of 24 dudes hitting on older women. I just like.
Okay. Let me try to break it down a little bit. So we had some interesting moments in the show. One of them, we got a guy named Akio Ross. He's a doctor. One of the few men on the show that actually has a real job beyond just like musician, trying to be a celebrity, trainer, entry level finance person. Like
You can't
Akio's a
say trainer's not a real job when it's one of the woman's jobs too.
Well, I'm discounting it because when you're under 25 and you're doing something that I'm like, eh. But if you're 30 and you're a trainer, you are legit. 25 and you're a trainer, maybe you're figuring things out.
What?
I mean, the women also don't have real jobs.
No.
One
the
is unemployed.
No.
She
She
has her own
had a
business.
business for 20 years.
She had a business.
Yeah, and she
Key
cashed
thing
out.
here was had.
Yeah,
That's
Sparkles
how
cashed
you can.
out.
Yeah, but that's how you can take a month off
She's
to go to the
Sparkles
Dominican
fire.
Republic.
Sparkles fire. Like, come on. She just living the dream.
Sparkles fire.
She definitely is. So anyway, we got Akio. He hits it off with Sparkle. He brings her to the corner. They hang out a little bit. They definitely got some good chemistry. Then we got Crew. Crew has amazing game. Like, he is able to get Brooke into a secluded area in like a beach setting with pedals, and carries her there. And he gets many kisses. And then we got Josh T. And it's not like the only Josh T. But he kind of does well as well, waiting his time and making a pounce. Like, yeah, I respect some of the game going on.
He's the best there is.
Is he the
Not
best
the best
there is
there
guy?
was.
Yeah.
Josh T, the South African one.
Yeah, he was definitely the most psychotic on the show. Like, you could just tell he's actually a psycho. Way too, like, does not blink, stares at you. Straight psycho.
It's the dreamy eyes.
He is a psycho.
Who was the guy that had the 59-year-old girlfriend or wife at some point?
Luis.
Yeah, he was like, I was so confused. So they're doing the ceremony, whatever, and like they go to a confessional, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know if I'm digging these women. I'm gonna leave," and then he gets saved, and he's just in the show. I was like, "What the fuck just happened? Like, what are you doing with this confessional?" And then still in the show.
I think
He did. Yeah.
that was just like some misdirection by the producers trying to like get us to think, oh no, he's he's trying to accept that like he's gonna leave.
Yeah,
I don't buy it either. I'm just like
I'm telling you that this is the silliest editing thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. At the very least, like if you are playing leave, then just like bail and then give somebody else the spot.
Yeah, I know. Just like I thought he was about to quit. Like that's what you do right before you quit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. So the second episode, the women described the situation, I thought, pretty well. They said that they were like ants, or the men were like ants, and then the women were like sugar, because all the men were coming after we're like ants at the sugar. It's just like, you get it.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Get it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were just like also very all over the snacks, so I don't know why. Like, I don't know what's better.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was one of the greatest things. Like the women are all like discussing, like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm like gonna just have a lot of fun. And the guys are like, fuck yeah, alcohol, snacks.
Those when they like, so they're all hanging out at the pool, and the concierge opens up the like door to like the house, and the men just go fucking berserk. And we're just like, what is going on? They're like going out and getting Pringles out of the thing. And we're just like, what?
Pringles cans.
Like, what is going? Like, why are you freaking out? I'm so confused. All right. So some minutia about the second episode a little bit. So the three women wake up, and like two of them seem a little hungover, but the Sparkles, looking for the big feet out there, decides to go on a date with who was it? Kyo?
Yeah.
And they go on this boat date because of the implications. Right.
Yep. I felt like that was a really like good romantic first date though.
It was pretty good. Got a cheek kiss out of that. And then What else happened? Someone who's going to go on a second date before we someone who's going to go on a different. One of the other one was going to go on a date,
Yeah,
but we kind of stopped watching at that point. That's about it.
Yeah.
So we're going on some dates here. These are if I'm going to watch one of these things, I need to see them do some stuff. I'd like to see some group dates, some groupers are going on right now. That'd be kind of fun.
the ants must feed.
The ants in pajamas. They're walking down the stairs. Anyone got any other minutia?
I believe it's bananas in pajamas are
It's
coming
true.
down the stairs.
It's not ants.
I know it's bananas.
No, ants in the pants, right?
Ants are in your pants, but bananas come down the stairs.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
Clearly, we're very on topic.
Mhm.
Should we go to some questions?
Let's do it.
Who's the worst human being?
Hmm.
I'm gonna go with the guy that said, "I don't want to be here." That
Yeah.
stings.
I mean, the edit's so weird there.
Yeah.
For sure. This is clearly a downgrade for our host.
Oh yeah, starring in a movie, like getting Tony Awards.
Yeah, he's a 6-time Tony Award winning, person. It's crazy. One other thing, I mean, I don't know if there's much to say about it, but the son being in this show is real weird.
Yeah, that's maybe the only real hook, or the one major hook that I want to see play out. I want to see if mom saves him. I want to see if there's any hookups that are just getting the side eye from mom.
I would love to see him hook up with the other women. That would be amazing.
Oh yeah, but then the one we're gonna talk about this, and it's gonna be like, oh no.
I would love for the other women to be like, oh, he's cute. I want to see what his dong looks like. And then the mom's gonna be like, uh-oh, get me in this freaking out about this conversation, right? That would be the ideal, right? Right. Or they hook up, that could be also ideal. Then you're kind of in this also weird situation. It really creates right now the three women are all on the same page. They're all let's have some fun. Let's meet these guys. Maybe we'll bang some. It'll be fine, And then, if one of them bangs their son, that's going to create a lot of tension. It's going to create some good TV.
It'll definitely be good TV.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be in that situation. But watching somebody in that situation that they've signed up for, they're all involved. They're all consented to this. That's going to be some good TV. Yep. I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
But
he's probably going to kick off episode 2.
I don't know how long that's going to last. But you could keep watching, find out. Let's see. Let's get some drinking rules going on. I think you need some drinking going on.
I got some good ones.
All right, Brian, what do you got for us?
Every time you see a cross or religious symbol, drink. There are a lot of people with cross necklaces and some tattoos.
Anytime anyone takes their shirt off, not when you see them with their shirt off, they're wearing a shirt, and then that shirt goes away.
Chris, you have criticized me so often for not trying to kill our guests.
Well, yours is also pretty bad. We're both trying to kill the people.
All right, Noah, what you got?
Anytime you see someone eating fruit, go get a drink that tastes like that fruit.
All right, I'm sorry. You cannot send your hospital bills to us.
Anytime you see somebody sexually eating fruit, you have to sexually eat some fruit too. Although that might just be episode 1, but that's great. Brian,
drink when you see the concierge.
The concierge.
Pedro.
It's pretty good.
Oh, we also didn't discuss his ending thing, but yeah.
His ending thing?
Yeah, when people got kicked off, where he made.
He signed the guest book.
Yeah, it
was real weird.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know why that was there. Why are you leaving? And they're like,
because you kicked me off.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, what do you want me to say?
It's campy, and I think it would fit well in a campier show. Just it doesn't fit the tone of the show very well.
Yep.
No, that's weird. I got another role.
Okay.
take a gulp of your drink for the hard G that is missing from the word concierge.
That's more of a drinking rule for this episode of the podcast. Would this show be better as a Quibi or TikTok?
I don't think so. I think this really kept it moving, personally.
I mean, it's fundamentally a different show, and I think it'd be hard to get your groove back in a Quibi format.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
You need some time.
Yeah, I mean, try to introduce 29 people on a Quibi, that'd be tough.
Yeah, no, it's a very different format, right? You have like, basically, you probably do like a mix of Singled Out, which is a Quibi, right, taken from the MTV show, and then a mix
Everyone
of like,
in our audience knows what Singled Out is. I mean, like, it's just like you have one person. It's like more of a dating show where it's like, or dating game style where you got one person and 3 other people. Like that can kind of work as a Quibi, but like that's not like watching this person over weeks get their groove back. Which unclear what the fuck that mean. Like for these people, like what is their groove back that they need? Like, does the hairstylist need their groove back to open their hairstylist back, their hair thing back up?
Chris, she's fire. She don't need to go back.
I know, but the premise of the show is that they need their groove back. So that means that she has to have not a groove. And you're telling me she's got a groove. Well, so she doesn't need a groove back.
Well, she has a groove, but not all the grooves, right? Like she had the business groove. She didn't have the love life groove. Not like she's got to get that going.
But she's the one with the kid, right?
Yeah. Sparkle.
Okay. Yeah. And like, well, we know the one girl needs her groove back because she had the miscarriage.
Yeah.
So like, all right, we're gonna work through the miscarriage a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, what's the other woman's like groove that she needs back?
She was divorced.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying we gotta have some sort of through line for these people.
Right.
To watch them, like they all come in pretty fire, pretty happy, and ready to like mingle. So like I don't know what like the through line for the show is really gonna be. It's not like somebody comes in and is like depressed over like it's just like it's just like not. I know it's a bad tone for the show, but like if I'm watching somebody get their groove back, I need them to not have a groove.
But I think it's the groove is like it's a love life, it's a sex life type thing, you know. That's the groove, and so I think it's. I mean,
they could have all had grooves already on the show.
They are starting to groove. They have not grooved.
I know they haven't grooved yet, but they could have.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. What do you think we could do to improve this show? Like what is a minor tweak you would do to the show?
I was gonna say more aggressive getting rid of people, but I think that like if we're doing like 8 episodes in 4 days, I don't think it's gonna matter. Like you're just gonna run through it.
I think you got to speed the show up a bit. I think that they like you can't have this dinner be one episode. Like this dinner needs to be half the episode. Like we gotta be doing things. Can't be like split them off into groups, play like some sort of icebreaker. Like I don't know, Deuce. You gotta if I were to take the show and re-edit it, I would definitely be speeding through a lot of this stuff.
I think you just remove like the intros for the guys or make them like just very, very brief, and then you're gonna make the cuts that you need.
Well, I'm gonna cut a lot of this dinner. I don't like. I don't know. It's not that interesting.
Admittedly, like when Noah's like starting to talk about it, like it's very like Bachelorette or Bachelor, where it's just like I'm gonna try to pull you aside for this time, and then
I mean they're definitely trying to get that like Bachelor vibe, like in that episode. First episode or so where they're like fighting over people, you know. I get what they're going for. They're really pulling in the Bachelor audience, and that's fine. Just like that's how I would tweak the show. What about you, Noah?
So I think there's a couple angles, right? It depends who they're trying to appeal to. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of references to the movie. And I think if you're like, that title, You might want to throw out some more like the movie stuff, maybe more cameos, maybe sort of recreation of scenes, right? Because then you're really like you're playing up to the title. Um, I think we're gonna have to see how it goes though. Like, are we gonna get more one-on-one dates? Gonna get some group dates? Gonna get some competition among the men to like spice it up a little bit and let them like kill each other? You know, we'll see.
Episode
Yeah.
2 seemed mainly one-on-one dates, from what we could
Mm.
tell.
Yeah.
Actually, one thing I think that would really help the show from an episode 1 perspective would, instead of a dinner, it's like a beach party where everyone's in their bathing suits. Then you really hit the key demographics because all the men now wearing shirts,
Yeah.
right?
Did you watch the same thing? Because like they were basically not wearing shirts anyway.
I'm just saying it's better when they're out in the sun and they're wet. Like you gotta go hard in the paint here, Brian. We're not going wishy-washy nighttime date. We're going, we're going pool party. We're hanging on the pool. We're wet. We're like whipping our hair around. Like you got to really pull in the key demo here. And I think that this nighttime date didn't really do that. And then the nighttime date could be one-on-ones, and that's a solid first ep, right?
Yeah.
What do you love about the show, Brian?
That it's actually like making a better, more positive dating attitude. Like it's overall just like helping make sure that like people are happy and going after what they want, versus just like I mean, in this case it is banging, but it's also just like encouraging that. Yeah.
Noah, what do you got? What do you love about this show?
I mean, we talked about it a bunch, but I just think there's a lot of good energy on the show. Like a lot of the dating reality shows has a lot of like influencer wannabe energy, or like a lot of like manufactured drama that doesn't really exist, and they stayed away from that. I thought pretty well. Like there's some of the influencer like fishing happening, but I just think it has like really good energy. So I appreciate the producers not trying to drum shit up that doesn't need to be drum up.
Yeah, I mean, I usually try to pick something different, but I think like the vibe of the show is pretty positive. Like every confessional, everything is about, ooh, older women. I love older women, and the women are like, ooh, I'm so excited, like to meet all these men, and like just like everything is just kind of like we're here to have fun, and that's like refreshing from like a perspective that a lot of other shows will throw in a lot more sob stories to really bring you down, and you're like, I don't know, it's a sob story. It's like they kind of kept it till episode 2, so like I don't know if they really got rid of it, but like I think that this first episode is very good on that front. And then we got 2 more questions. This is the most important question right now: is who's gonna hook up next?
Crew and who is he hitting on? Brooke. Yeah, I think they're prime candidates.
I mean, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Sparkles didn't seem like a person that was going to hook up very quickly, according to the date we saw. So I'll take Brooke, and I didn't write down anyone's name. So I'm just going to go with Brooke. I think she's going to hook up next.
Yeah. Well, it's either going to be Brooke. So far, they teed up. Like they got Brooke with Crew, or Josh T, the guy from South Africa, and then we got Sparkle with Akio, right? And then we got Leroy with Steph.
I'm going to go with Brooke and Josh T from South Africa. That's who's going to hook up next. No, you have a contender?
I mean, Brooke and Crew seem to have like the most going on, so I feel like you got to go with them.
All right, so we do a stack ranking system between top, middle, bottom, third. Noah, what do you got for me?
So it's hard to compare the show because there's some aspects of it and how it's executed that really is different and enjoyable, like we talked about. At the same time, we have our typical dating shows. This is a bit more enjoyable to watch, as we talked about. So it's definitely not a top show. I don't want to watch more. It's not a bottom show, so I think it fits in the middle. I want to give it more than the middle, but I don't think I can, because there's just not much more pulling me back in. So solid middle.
Brian, what do you got?
I'm gonna put it in the top, but the bottom of the top. I'm probably gonna check out at least. Well, we were watching episode 2. We already checked out another episode, but I think I might finish it and see what's going on. See if it's actually interesting enough to keep going with the 4 days of banging.
4 days of bang. That's what the show should have been called. I'm struggling with this one because I do think it's a bottom third show because I did the cardinal sin of introing way too many people at once. But like the tone of the show is so good. And if you've been listening to this podcast, tones of reality show really, really sets almost exactly where you're going to be in top, middle, or bottom. And right now it's like hovering between that like bottom and middle. And it's not my demo, but if you're in the demo, I'm just gonna put it in the middle for that because this is a demo for me. I'll put it in the middle.
I kind of wanted you to go bottom just so we had like no consensus in this.
No, you don't get any satisfaction.
No.
Brian. Just like us, we didn't get to see anyone bang.
That's true.
No satisfaction for anyone involved. Tell us what you thought about the show on our poll on Twitter at Who Put This On, and let us know if you watch all 8 episodes with Brian.
Dang, you're already calling me out on this.
All right. Anyone got any shout outs they want to go over?
Last week, Run for the Money, I immediately went home and watched a couple other episodes.
Have you finished that season?
I was close. I just couldn't finish it before I had to go to bed, and then I didn't wrap it up yet, but I might go back and do that tonight.
Yeah. I watched like half more episode. It's still good. It's like somebody mentioned maybe watching it at 2x, and that might be like it's a Japanese, so you have to read it anyway.
Yeah, and as long as like you can like quickly see what's going on, and you could even just go like, oh, they're panicking. Fine, like I don't care.
It's just like fun to watch these guys like freak out over this game of tag.
Yep.
Noah, you have any shout outs? It's been a while since you've been on the show.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to like go back to like what I watched. What was really good. I forgot some of the name of the shows. Chris, you go. Let me get my stuff.
The White Lotus season 2 has been really good. Like it's surprising for like a show about just like rich people, like a posh resort, but it's just like so intriguing. And I don't know what it is about the writing or like the camera work. It's very good. I highly recommend that. And The Peripheral ended. There's like some sort of Amazon show. It's super heavy sci-fi, and it's kind of confusing and kind of a mess, but it also kind of works. So it's like it's a solid if you like sci-fi, give it a shot. But if you don't like sci-fi, do not watch it.
Yeah,
it's definitely on the list.
We started watching Peripheral, and I was like, "This is too sci-fi."
It's like hard sci-fi.
Yeah, like it doesn't give the feeling of it at first, but then I'm like, "Oh my god!" It shows like that where I just feel like you can't logically predict what's going to happen because like everything could just be like the science of the future, and you're like, "Well, fuck!" Like, of course that could happen.
It's very much like feels like a book made into a show, and the book is like out there, and the plot is fucking out there. It's so it like comes together. I need to rewatch last episode because it's like it goes from like 20 miles an hour to like 70 miles an hour, and like things happen, and I'm like, I don't know what just happened. So I don't think it quite lands the ending, but I loved watching it week to week. It was kind of fun to like be like, oh, what happened? What's going to happen? Like, it wasn't a show that I needed to binge, and I like that part of it. Whereas I think White Lotus would be better to binge. But that's just me. Noah, have you figured out a show or?
Yeah. So first, I'm gonna give a shout out to 2 movies. Both I still have 20 minutes left of each, but they've been pretty good. One of them is Spirited on Apple Plus. It's the Will Ferrell, Ryan Reynolds movie. Really fun. Musical. Yeah, it's great. The second movie is the Weird Al movie on the Roku channel. Also like super entertaining.
It's a complete joke of a movie. It's just so fun to watch. The show I will give a shout out to. It's not necessarily new, but new to me. It's called The Outlaws. It's on Amazon Prime. Has Christopher Walken, Stephen Merchant. It's about these group of folks that do community service, like because they have to, like because they got in trouble, and how they get together and cause a stir. Really funny.
All right, never heard of it before, but I do like a Christopher Walken.
Yeah,
I'm walking here.
It's really good. The Outlaws on Amazon Prime.
All right, well, that's it for us this week. Tell us what you thought about this show on Twitter at Whobuthasong. You can find us on Facebook.com/Whobuthasong. You can email us questions and suggestions at Whobuthasong@gmail.com. We'll see you guys next time. Let this groove get you to move. It's all right, all right, all right. Let this groove set in your shoes. Stand up, all right, all right.